Hey there, today we're going to talk about how jelly beans can be a great clue into where we feel like we're banging our head against the wall and a great clue into how we can consciously move past those blockages where we feel like, we've tried everything and can't seem to get past a certain point. Because no matter how long we've been doing this work, whether we're doing any kind of consciousness work, meditation, yoga, energy work, psychic work, you name it, just self-nourishing work, we inevitably will get to a point, even if we professionally work with others, and where we say, I can work with other people, but I keep on hitting this brick wall and I can't get past this. For some reason, I keep on having this physical ailment. I keep on getting sick. I keep on having this problem in relationships. I keep on having a problem in my environment or my living situation or my job or my career. And why can't I seem to get past this? So sometimes what we do, because it makes us feel better, the ego, to say, oh, well, obviously that's just in my journey, right? The way the ego sneaks itself into consciousness work is really fun when you look at it. Or you say, oh, well, there's nothing I can do about that. I just have to learn how to live with it. Well, possibly, but there's something to look at underneath it, or else you wouldn't have it there. And there's a lot of other things around us that we tend to dismiss and not realize that they're actually big clues as to why we're hitting our head against the brick wall. So the reason, let's talk about the jelly beans. So I have a handful of jelly bellies, not just regular jelly beans, mind you, but jelly bellies, and if you don't know what they are very specialized, jelly beans that have like very specific flavors, like even have buttered popcorn, caramel popcorn, you have, things like strawberry daiquiri, bubble gum, sour cherry, lemon lime, and all different kinds of just like, mango and whatever. Even cantaloupe, I believe. Anyhow, like root beer. Anyway. So the reason I'm using this as a metaphor or an example is I don't eat jelly bellies a lot, but I have just because of the season right now. Have some. And it's funny that if I took a handful of these jelly beans and I pop them in my mouth gets overwhelmed. My mind gets overwhelmed with the flavors mixed together. I'm like, what is that? I can't even tell. But it was like I think a tropical fruit, maybe a chocolate, an orange of some kind, and some other things, and I can't discern. Here's the thing. In our consciousness practice, we have become really we've started overusing the word presence and underutilizing it. It's a sort of become a cliche. Be present, stay present, be in the moment, all that kind of stuff. And many we don't even practice it. And it's so important in this consciousness work, and I'll tell you why. Just like those jelly beans, those jelly bellies specifically, when we hit a brick wall, the ego goes, oh, well, this is just really uncomfortable and I'm tired of it and it's really irritating me. So now I'm just going to keep on banging that brick wall till I break through it. I'm going to push through. When we do that, it's like popping that entire mouthful of jelly beans in our mouth again and again, and then going, why can't I figure this out? Why can't I change this? Why can't I move forward? When our expanded consciousness is saying, there's something for you to look at, because if we didn't need to see this particular thing, we'd be able to pass through. And if we've stopped ourselves, there's something for us to see so that we can shift within us and move past. But we're never going to see it until we become present with ourselves. Our excuses, our rationalizations, are things that we write off. In the ego, it becomes so masterful, no matter how masterful we become. I say that all the time. No matter how masterful we become in terms of consciousness work and whatever, our ego becomes even more masterful at playing the game with us. So it just says, oh, no, I know this. Oh, no. It's not that. And typically that's really where you need to dig into and look, because it really doesn't want to look there. It's like, oh, no, I'm going to look in another direction. So let me show you something else. When we go with these with these jelly bellies. When I eat them, I literally eat them one at a time. And I'll tell you why. Because the obvious is I like to pay attention to what each flavor provides for me, right? So I can literally have gotten to the point where I can close my eyes, put one in my mouth, and that was definitely cotton candy. Yep. Yep. So how can I do that? Well, with one in my mouth, I'm very present with the flavor. I'm not mixing it with other things. I'm letting myself see it for what it is, or feel it, or taste it, or whatever. And I can even do that with the color, looking at it and then putting it in my mouth. But the point here that's so important is when we slow down and we look at those things around us, usually, well, not usually, always, the message is usually right in front of our face. And it's typically something we're, again, writing ourselves off to, claiming victimhood to. Like, often we'll say, oh, I'm just supposed to suffer through this, or this is just in my journey, or that's just part of my agreements, or, whatever. And that's the first place for us to look under. That's the rock to look under. So that's really the gift of true presence in our consciousness work. And it's really the example for all of us to create for ourselves and with others in terms of how to see the truth of what's around us within our own lives, within our own realities, as we've created it, so that we can see what there is to change to move forward beyond it and go beyond where we've been before. So when we can do that, we can journal, we can see, we can talk about a whole bunch of things on what we might not have seen otherwise, and then we can start digging into these other layers, because a lot of times it's like a princess and the pea thing. Pull out that pea and the entire scene changes like that. So take your jelly bellies one at a time, and then take a look at what's right in front of you.